All right, so welcome everybody. So here we are. This is day 53 of compassionate response to COVID-19. And we move into the next level now because for the last 52 days I've been doing solo presentations. And so what I thought was that what I've always wanted really is to be sharing my life in the order, my experience of my friends in the order. And like the order has such a lot to give, really, or to, is a lot. Anyway, so this is today. I've got my friend Dharmabandhu, and what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 sessions, 2 days on focusing on one of my friends who's in the order, and today. So I'm going to interview Dharmabandhu about his life and about our connection and about Buddhafield. And then tomorrow, Dharmabandhu is going to lead us in some invocation of Padmasambhava. So, he's got a real connection with Padmasambhava, and so that'd be fantastic. But before we begin, what's going to happen is, sorry, I'm getting all tongue-tied. What's going to happen is Dharmabandhu is going to lead us in some body work, and then I'm going to do some meditation. So we'll have about 20 minutes of body work, and then about 15 minutes of meditation. Then we'll get on to talking about Grimsby, Hull, Buddhafield. So over to you, Dharmabandhu.
Okay, good morning. So yes, Mahabodhi has asked me to lead us into a bit of body work, and good to see you all. I can't see you, but I know you're out there. And so this is something I do at Buddhafield, and I learned 20 years ago some Qigong and energy work. So we're just going to stand by feet shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent, facing forwards, and we're just going to gently shake. So just connecting with your body, and especially connecting with your feet on the ground. And it's good if you could be bare feet, but perhaps you're not barefoot, that's okay, but it's best, it's different when you go barefoot. But just gently shaking and bouncing. And you can loosen your fingers. Let your fingers be loose. Let your knees just shake. Shoulders just shaking. Breathing. Breathing in. And breathing out. Just go. So I'm just going to do it. Well, we're doing it together. And it's a sort of clearing sound. This is what I was taught. Okay, now we're just going to shake all the worries away, the sleep away. Shake all the tension, all the stress, and the dreams. If they were good, that's great. But anyway, just all the worries, shake them away. The other foot, step forward. There we go. Good. Right, now let's rub the hands together. Bring in some chi, some energy to the hands. Bring some warmth to the hands. And then just perhaps holding your face, feeling the touch of your hands on your face, your beautiful face. And letting go of the tension, any worry. Just feel the healing through your hands. And once more, we'll just rub the hands together. Bringing some chi, energy to the hands. And this time we'll just gently stroke forehead, Got a bit of a cough this morning, but yeah, and just stroke the head. So we're just going to work down the body and just gently massaging, stroking, whatever your body needs, whatever your body's asking of you. Just gently tapping the back of the neck, well, the neck, yeah, shoulders. So this is called Doin. It's from Doin anyway, which is about, it's a system, it's a Japanese system. So coming down to around the throat and the chest, the upper chest, just tapping. So we're going into tapping now, from a bit of shaking to a bit of tapping. And just tapping and receiving your touch. So this is TLC for ourselves, waking our system up, tapping the forehead, temples. And you can make that sound. It's a nice sound. Around the upper lip, lower lip, around the jaw, just loosening your jaw, nostrils. So just moving around your face, and watch your face will be telling you what it wants. Your eyes, maybe. Be really gentle and kind around your ears, and you can just stroke your ears, pull down your ears a little bit. And I make these sounds just, I don't know why. Although when I was taught this, my teacher did and make some sounds. So I've just learned them and I just do them because they come naturally as I'm doing this. Around your chest, your heart, your beautiful heart. And I did something called a monkey. I did 5 animals, the 5 animal forms. So this is from the monkey Qigong. I'll perhaps maybe show you it at some point. But just imagine you're a beautiful little monkey. And you're just tapping your heart. So this form of Qigong is very playful. Woo, woo. Woo, woo. That's the monkey. So I'm calling to you all out there, to all you fellow monkeys. Woo, 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 woo. And we're just tapping now around our belly, rubbing our bellies. So you've now been initiated into the monkey clan, the monkey Qigong. Just a little bit. I haven't done a lot of it yet. But okay, let's now just shake it away. I call this my Tommy Cooper Qigong. Just like that. Just like that. Okay, other leg. Throwing away all the worries. So Tommy Cooper, he was a great Zen master, wasn't he? It's called a Tommy Cooper Qigong. Just like that. Throw it away. Get rid of it. Whatever you don't want, get rid of it. Okay, so we're going to have some laughter, aren't we? We're going to have fun. We can't be serious all our lives. Perhaps you already have fun, but okay, now we're moving on to our hips. Just loosening our hips, our beautiful hips. Clockwise and anti-clockwise. And just stay in your bodies, wherever your feet on the ground, wherever your hips circling. Okay, another little shake because, yeah, we're going to cover the whole of the body or most of it. Another little shake, shake, and then we're going to tap down the outside of the arm and up the inside. So we're waking the arm up, the muscles in the arm, the energy flowing through the arm. Other arm, down and up, down and up, down and up. Okay, now just chest again. Yeah, you can make these noises if you want. Good. Okay, back to the hips again. So wherever we've covered the face, mostly, a little bit. You can always come back. You don't have to, you can come back. Wherever you feel the tension building up, or if there is any tension or stress, just trust yourself, washing away, getting rid of the worries, the stress, the tension. Okay, let's do the hips, bit of tapping of the hips. Our beautiful hips. And then down the outsides of both legs and up the inside. Down the outside and up the inside. Down the outside and up the inside. And this time, as we're still bending forward, just tap your bum. Nice little tap there. And your lower back a little bit, maybe. And then down the legs, up the inside. And then front and back. Other leg, front and back. Well, that's most of the body done there. Okay, we never did the shoulders, did we? So we can just throw one arm up over the top of the shoulder and just support it with your other arm. And just tap on the shoulder. And again, just, this is your body, as you know, and you're just finding your way with your body and tapping. Neck. Other arm, just sling it up over. Support it. So I must confess I haven't talked for at least 6 or 7 months. So I hope we're doing okay. And then we're going to do both arms. We're going to throw both arms up and down. Up and down. On the shoulders. So we're just tapping on the shoulders. Good. Okay. So we're going to just stand now. Stand, just experiencing the energy flowing through our body. Maybe you can feel it tingling in your fingers, in your feet, in your shoulders, in your back, in your head, your face. Wherever you feel the tingling, just noticing it in your body. And just stand experiencing the tingling and letting go of any stress that's in the body. Just let it drain out from the crown of the head all the way down through the face, the neck, the chest, the arms, the shoulders, down into the belly, through the hips, through the groin, the pelvic region, the genitals, down into your thighs, your buttocks, through the knee joints, through all the joints, through the legs, the calves, through the ankles and each of the toes, and find a bit of space between each toe. Let each toe reach out and fingers reaching out. So we're just standing, experiencing the energy in our body. And breathe. So this is a kind of a standing meditation, isn't it? And really feel the soles of your feet, the front of your feet, your toes, your heels. Okay, we've done a little bit of that. Let's just do a bit of, maybe we'll just do a bit of dancing. Or just Just moving around. Just move around your room a little bit. Not a lot, but just a little bit. Okay, well, I'm going to go on the ground now. Perhaps you can join me on the ground, your ground. Hope you've got a nice carpet underneath you. I'm just going to move my... so I'm just going down on my knees and we're just going to rub our hands together. You can carry on standing if you want. But I've decided to come down just because I like coming down close to the ground. I hope you've got a nice carpet and blankets. I'm just stroking our face again. Just washing off. So how are we doing for time? We've been going probably...
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, good. I'm not sure how you're doing out there, but anyway. So a little bit of rubbing the hands, stroking the face. So it's important, isn't it? I'm sure you all know this, to be kind and loving and caring, and it's for ourselves. So this Qigong, this energy work, because the better we feel about ourselves and for ourselves, the more we can then be for others. So it's good to pamper ourselves, to love ourselves, to be kind and friendly and playful and appreciative. Okay, so what am I going to do now? I'm just going to, for those of you who've got socks on, or I don't know if you've got socks on, but I haven't got any socks on. I'm just going to, I'm not sure if you can reach, but I'm just going to start stroking my feet a bit. I mean, you can't see, can you see my foot? Anyway, there's my foot. I'm just going to do a bit of foot massage because the feet are so important. So, okay, how can we do it so you can see this? I'm going to move this and just show you my foot. And when I was 21, I fell 30 foot off a mast, and I'm already telling you about my life, but so there's my foot. So just massaging, holding your foot, just squeezing it. And then if you can, just try and find a bit of space between each of the toes. So this is not, I'm not going to go into depth with this today. I'm not going to, but create a bit of space between each of your toes and massage each of your toes. It's rare, the feet are so, in the yoga that I'm learning and been training in, the feet are so important. And the toes and the soles of the feet. And so just really looking after your feet. The right foot or the left foot. And you can just hold your foot like that, just circle it a bit. You can look for space between the toes and say hi to your foot. Hello, foot. Hello, toes. How are you? What do you need? Have you been looked after? So just stroking. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll go to the other foot. And again, you can just maybe put both hands around the foot. It might be difficult for you. I don't know. I don't know how flexible you are or how used to doing this you are. You might not, but in your own way, it might be you might be on a chair or you might be on the ground. I'm on the ground. It's good to be. I like the ground. They say by sitting down in chairs all day, we get old. Well, we get old anyway, but it's good not just to plunk yourself in a chair all day, unless you need to or you want to. It's okay. I'm not. But it's also good to to get used to being on the ground, if you've got nice carpet, that is. Okay, so we're just finding a bit of space. I'm not sure if you can see me doing my feet, but perhaps you're just concentrating on your own thought. That's okay. Okay, so we've done feet a little bit, and you can spend as much time as you like on your foot, your feet. So I'm just giving a little bit of introduction, and also the fingers, the hands. So just look at your hands. Those beautiful hands. And maybe just a bit of massaging the thumb and the finger, all your fingers. Keep breathing. Other hand, thumb. And just playing with your fingers. So the fingers are really important as well, as you know. Right, so how are we doing? So that's about... How are we doing, mate, Mahabodhi?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, I feel...
Yeah.
I'm holding the iPad here, but I just feel better just watching it. Yeah.
Good, well, thank you, everybody, for that little... I hope you was able to follow some of that. And just before I pass on to Mahabodhi, just sitting quietly now, just experiencing your feet, and your fingers, and your hands, and your body, and the energy in your body. And just breathing gently, experiencing the fact that you've given some TLC. Because the body is none other than, well, we are the body. The body is not different from the mind, the heart. And maybe let's just finish by one hand on the belly and one hand on the heart. Just holding ourselves with kindness. Just breathing. Okay, perhaps a little circle, just a little circle. There you go. Handing over to Mahabodhi now.
Thanks, Dharmabandhu. Okay. So I think it's appropriate we do the Metabhavana because we're here in the presence of so that you know in magazines like Time and all that they have this thing of Matthew Ricard being the happiest man in the world. You know, he's like one of the Tibetan monks. But I think Dharmabandhu is the friendliest man in the world. So I think we've got our own version of Matthew Ricard here. Okay, so I'm just going to lead on the iPad. So just settling into your posture. And just staying in touch with that lovely energy that Dharmabandhu's created. This sort of sensitive connection with our bodies. Saying hello to our bodies in a nice way. And then just tuning into your heart area. I'm just using Using Dharmabandhu's example of just open-heartedness, what is it like to be open-hearted? Just being open-hearted towards yourself. May I be well. So just trying to have a sense of the whole of yourself being included in the meditation. The bits that are doing well, but the bits that are struggling as well. Just something that we've got the opportunity to just give ourselves some space. Just keeping it really simple. Just opening up your heart to yourself. May I be well. So in the original Buddhist scripture where the Buddha talks about loving kindness, it just says radiate loving kindness in all directions. Above, below, to the north, to the south, to the east, to the west. So just having a sense of just radiating loving kindness out into the world. So whoever we come across, whatever our awareness encompasses that's alive, we just think, may that living being be well. May it be happy. May it be free from suffering. And just as a mother has the love for her only child, in the same way, having a sense of we could care for beings like that, just like that. Just as the care that a mother has for an only child. May they all be well. So, aware of ourselves as a living being, as an object for our loving kindness, aware of our friends, aware of people that we don't really know very well. Aware of beings that are large, beings that are very small. Any kind of life at all is all moving towards some goal, some objective, some even biological processes are doing that, even bacteria are doing something like that. Everything in the universe has a kind of yearning for completion. A yearning for wholeness, connection, meaning. So in your own way, just opening up your heart to all beings everywhere, including yourself. It's a bit of a short meditation, but it's been all a bit chaotic today. So, in your own time, just bringing this meditation to a close. We've had a good meditation with Dharmabandhu's bodywork. Okay, so DB's just plugging in his devices. Yeah, so in this series of Meet the Order, which I just thought of the title of the series this morning. I thought, and I've only arranged anything with Dharmabandhu so far, but I think a nice idea is that we have two sessions with a particular order member who I have a connection with or history with, and it's a little bit like Parkinson in a way. Michael Parkinson, who's like so, and I have a connection with Parkinson because. This is I don't know if you can see that. That's a picture of my dad. There's my dad, and he looks a bit like Parkinson. So I'm channeling my dad, Arthur Burton. Yeah, and so Dharmabandhu. So I met Dharmabandhu in something around like 1989 or something like that. So we've known each other roughly over 30 years. And we have this, we have a common connection in that I was born in Hull and he was born in Grimsby. So Hull and Grimsby are like two rival fishing ports. When fishing was really a big industry in the UK. So here we have. I've got a few. So here we have. Oops, that's the best way of doing it. Yeah. So here's a picture of Hull docks in 1965. Here we go. Yeah, and here's a picture of a Grimsby trawler. GY 39398. Were you on that one, Dharmabandhu? You're muted. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I was on one similar to that. When
yeah.
I was 14, I went to Iceland on a trawler for 10 days.
Yeah.
And poor little fish. I'm not going to say I wasn't fishing myself, but I was on the ship. And Iceland.
Yeah. So what was it like to be on a trawler?
Well, the first 4 days and 4 nights, I was seasick. I'm not joking. The ship's just like that, up and down, and I was seasick before. Just 4 days and 4 nights, and then I came out of it. But it was about 10 days around Iceland. Seeing these men doing this, work, rough and dangerous conditions, and the whole,
And were you in the merchant navy after that or something?
Yes. So my father had a pub, had two pubs, and one pub was around the docks in Grimsby, very close to the docks. And from the age of 10 to about the pub, and then we moved to another pub, another bar, another pub. Sorry, mate. What was your question?
Yeah. So you went to sea, didn't you?
Yeah, then I joined the Merchant Navy when I was just turned 16 and a few days, and I sailed for 6.5 years in the Merchant Navy, sailing around the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you fell off the mast at a certain point.
Ha 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 ha. Okay, yes. When I was 20, probably 20, no, 21, I'd been up cleaning them out. I was a sailor. I was a deckhand.
Yeah.
And we had to sail the ship. We had to steer the ship. We had to look out at night spend all night up on the looking out for ships, so we didn't hit. But when I was 21, yes, I fell 30 foot and broke a few bones in my foot, and so then I had a couple of years outside the Merchant Navy, and then I became a barman in Spain. But that's another story. But
yeah. And how did you come across Buddhism?
How did I come across Buddhism? Well, when I was again about 21, and I went out to Spain and worked a couple of summers in the Costa Brava. And I met some people coming back from India.
When was this?
1971.
Yeah.
So Franco was still in power then, but I was working there for a couple of summers in Spain with all these young English and European people, and I came across people coming back from India, and it just really interested me. So from there, I got into the martial arts, and then I went to America in '74 and learned to meditate in '74. Then I came back to England and I got involved in theosophy and meditation, and I came across. Then I started training to be a yoga teacher, and I became a yoga teacher in '77. And then I came across Tree Ratner in early '78.
Mm. And what was it like at the time, Tree Ratner?
Well, this was in Croydon. No, this was in Purley, actually. There wasn't a centre in Croydon then. What was it like? Well, I was 27, 28. Aryatara, this community, it was just blossoming. There was a lot of young people coming in and coming to the classes, and we set up a whole food shop. So I got involved when they were setting a whole food shop out of burned out buildings, and we set up the centre in Croydon. We had a community and we had businesses. So it was very early.
Yeah. And there was like a massive number of people living in Aryatara at the time, wasn't there?
Yes. When I lived, there was probably about, 10 young men. They were all in their 20s, and most of them in their 20s, and teens even. We had one 16, 17, but and the women used to come as well, the girls. So we're all young, very young then. I know there were some older people there. Shouldn't have just young, but it was very vibrant. We were creating a new society, a new world, weren't we? That was the mission. Yeah.
And your friendships now, that you've got like long-standing friendships with people from that time?
Yeah. Well, one of my closest friends is Sumana, and he was there then. We've been close friends ever since. And who else? Well,
so Sumana. Oops.
Sumana, that's
there.
it. Yeah.
Name your finger there. There's a
Yes. In fact, am I on there? What's that? Am I on there as well?
yeah. Are you on there?
Few long from him. Maybe not. Maybe
Yeah, I
that's
don't
something
think.
else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and so you were at Croydon, and then did you then move somewhere else?
Yes, I was at Croydon for 3 years, and during that time, we acquired a building. The council let us have a building down the high street, which subsequently became the Croydon Buddhist Centre, which is still the Croydon Buddhist Centre, and it was just this big building. There was nothing in it. So we put a community into it, and then we set up a whole food shop, a vegetarian restaurant, which is still going. It's now a centre.
Yeah.
And then 3 years later, I was asked to go to Bristol to help set up. There was 2 order members there, Teja Mitra and Steramati, and I was the third person to go to help set up Bristol, which is now a thriving centre. But yeah, when I was there,
Yeah.
I was there for 3 years in Bristol. I got ordained from Bristol.
Yeah. And that was in 84 or something. You got ordained.
Got ordained in 84. Yeah, I went to Tuscany and I was on the 3 months.
Yeah. So I met you in West London in late 80s. So did you move to West London?
Okay, so from Bristol, I was in Bristol from 81 to 84. Then I got ordained in 84. Then I moved to London to be with a good friend. I was ordained with Baladitya, and we worked in a building team for 6 months. Then we went to America. We helped to set up Arialoka, which was just starting, and 5 of us went to America.
In New Hampshire, no, yeah.
New Hampshire, which is still going, yeah. Then I came back from there 2 years later. That's when I moved back to Croydon. No, I moved to Brighton for 9 months. Then I moved to West London, and that's where we met.
Yeah. So you were there with Sumina in West London, weren't you? Yeah.
Yeah, Sumina and Padmotra, and they went to university, and I did an access course. Yeah. At West London Institute.
Yeah. And then you've been around even more places, haven't you? So where did you go after that?
Okay, so I was probably in West London Institute, and we lived in. Where did we live? We lived out in that Indian, where all the Indians are. What are they?
Southall, is it?
Where?
Southall.
Southall. We lived in Southall, and we had a flat there. We had a house there, which we rented. Yeah, and then from there, Baladitya, who I was ordained with, we went to America, didn't we? Yeah. Then he came back from he got on to Vancouver and helped set up Vancouver. Then he came back to the UK, and then he said, look, there's a job going. They want 3 guys to go to Gukyaloka, the men's retreat centre. So I went to Gukyaloka in the mountains of Spain for a year.
Yeah. So I've got a picture of Gukyaloka here, so I'll just show people.
Blimey, Nora, mate.
I'm well prepared.
Yeah.
So here's here's hang on, it's just complicated. I'm trying to work out how to do it. Here's a picture of Gukyaloka. So it's like about 2,500 feet up in the Spanish hills, Spanish mountains. So you went there for how long?
Well, we went for a 3-month ordination retreat. We bought all the food and all the provisions.
Yeah.
And I ended up staying for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing. It was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I drove a jeep up and down the hills, and
yeah. So what happened? You know, what happened there? Did you stay there, or did you know?
So do you want the truth?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, during the 3-month ordination retreat, which me and Baladitya and Sumitra were looking after, we were buying the food. Banti was there as well.
Sangharakshita, yeah.
Sangharakshita was there, yeah, for a while. it was quite a tough. We had a fire in the valley, and there was a fire raging through, and the helicopters dropping. But anyway, it's quite an intense time. And I had an accident. Well, I ended up pushing a car off a cliff, which precipitated a lot of stress, and I kind of had a bit of a breakdown, to tell the truth. And but it plunged me into a shamanic type world. But I stayed there for another 9 months.
Yeah.
Just now did a month's solitary retreat, and we were building the buildings of Gukyaloka.
Yeah.
And keeping it running.
Yeah. So, from what I know, what I know of you is that you're a people person, and you're probably the person who knows most people at the Butterfield Festival, which is a festival now of about 4,000 people. It happens every year, and Dharmabandhu literally will know more people at the festival than anybody else at all. So when you were just there in Gukyaloka, was it just 2 other people? Was that was that just not satisfying for you, or was it not? Was there something missing there? Your kind of need for companionship and all that.
No, there was companionship. It was because others arrived, so there was more than 3 of us. Retreat finished, and then more people arrived, and there was just a big, So no, it was not. Oh no, there weren't that many of us, to tell the truth. There was about half a dozen of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I came back to the UK, and I moved to Padmaloka for 6 months. Padma there. Then I moved back to Bristol, where I'd been. Yeah. And a couple of years later, after I got back, then I joined Butterfield.
Yeah.
In 1994.
Yeah, 94. Yeah. So Butterfield, was that when it first started? Butterfield, about 94.
I think Butterfield started about 91, when some of them went to Glastonbury and they took a tent.
Yeah.
I was on the first Butterfield retreat in 94. Yeah.
Yeah. So Butterfield is came out of Croydon Buddhist Centre, didn't it?
Primarily, it came from Croydon. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were various people who wanted to connect with the festival scene, and I think there was a lot of travellers culture then. People living in vehicles and stuff, and I think there was quite a bit of trouble with the police, wasn't there? With it's a bit.
Yeah, well, it was that. Yes, there was. Yeah, at that time and before then. Yeah, there was the travellers in the vans, and there'd been the Glastonbury. And after Glastonbury, a lot of travellers had gone to this place, and the police had raided them, hadn't they? And then they'd beaten everybody up.
Yeah.
So, but if it was part of this culture of hip young people and travellers, Yeah.
I mean, my first Butterfield was something like 98 or something like that,
Yeah.
And what struck me most was that it was near Shepton Mallet and field on a hill near Shepton Mallet, and it was like stepping into another world, really. So like the number of Buddhists there was tiny, and the number of like alternative folk, including like there's that rainbow people who were kind of all very artistic, and lived in a lot of people living in communes and things like that. So there's quite a lot of and there were pagans there. I remember a guy in debate, and he just refused to accept any concepts about. You can't have a debate without concepts. But it's so there's a lot of like crazy kind of chaotic ideas and all sorts of, So the idea with Bayan Butterfield was to bring kind of some Buddhism into contact with that culture, with the festival culture and things. So,
Yeah, well, I think it was just to meet young people.
yeah,
And I think it was probably, I wasn't part of the initial initiative, but I think it was just, to reach out to the youth because a lot of them were relatively young themselves anyway. So they wanted to, spread the Dharma.
Yeah.
It's not just young people. There was a lot of all different ages, so we don't need to get them.
So one of the original originators of Buddha was Dharmabandhu, was it? Wasn't it?
Yes.
So I'm going to try and work this out. Can you see that? So
Yeah,
there's Dharmabandhu, yeah. So so Dharmabandhu was there at the beginning, wasn't he? And I remember him like going to raves and meditating on the top of a speaker stack and things like that.
Yes, yeah. He was. I'm not sure if he was right at the beginning, but
okay.
Relatively beginning, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to go to raves and sit on top of speakers and meditate and.
Yeah, so there's real kind of idealism there, isn't there? Of like kind of wanting to connect with it. Yeah. And I remember like Dharmabandhu going homeless, ending up being deliberately homeless, and
he did.
And how difficult that can be, because you just don't know where you're going to stay that night, and
he's quite radical. He's Dharmabandhu, yes.
Yeah, living in a.
He's married now and he's got a partner, but yes, he's still radical in his way. Yes.
Yeah. So and I remember him like being on retreat and kind of sleeping in a bivy bag in a field, So he wouldn't even have a tent, Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
So do you remember like times in Buddhafield when you're involved, because you did season with Buddhafield in the early days, where it was a bit chaotic like that,
I did 6 years with Buddhafield.
Yeah.
And we'd start in April, March, go into the fields, and often I wouldn't come out of the fields till September, October.
Yeah.
From one retreat or one festival or one, gathering to another. That's how we did it in those days. It wasn't established like it is now. It was traveling.
Yeah.
And we just,
And did you sometimes? Was it sometimes the case that you weren't quite sure where you're going to stay that night, or
Yeah. We could end up in the field somewhere, just camped for the night. From what I remember, we gradually knew we were going to go to certain places, and we had a place like Shepton Mallet where we went back to Jacob's Field. There was 2 fields we used to stay in, and then we'd go out from there. But in the early days, we didn't know. We were looking for places to connect with. Yeah.
And what about like? I mean, I know you've got a bit of a connection with like shamanism. So, how did that manifest through Buddhafield?
Through Buddhafield? Well, for me, it manifested when I had a breakdown at Cookie Loco when I was there in 1990. So I was plunged down, if you like, into the unconscious through this breakdown. It took me down, and then I got involved with Buddhafield, and it was already shamanic. It was already very nature based, shamanic people, and that was the whole culture, nature of it.
Yeah.
It's like pagan shaman Buddha.
Yeah.
So it was, and we had sweat lodges. And we had right from the start. The first festival was 96, and there was 200 people on it.
Yeah.
There's now
4,000. Yeah.
But so right from the beginning, there was the pagan, shamanic, Buddhist world coming together.
Yeah. So at Buddhafield, well, in a minute, you've been to more Buddhafields than me, but I've also been to maybe 20 of them over the time. So one of the things that we're both drawn to is like helping, in a way, being what I call a crowd shaman. So So what, so can you connect with that? What happens there for you?
Okay. So as we were living, because we'd been in the fields all summer, all from April right through. So you're just in the elements, and I was just initiated into the shamanic world, as it were. It just happened spontaneously, and I had a drum. I got a drum, and I'd call on the energies. I just went into nature, into the and while the retreats were going on or in between, I just got very connected. And even the retreats we were doing were quite shamanic type retreat. We do shamanic retreats. So, and more, I just called on these energies or opened up to the spirits of the land and the gods and the deities. And it just came. It was natural. I suppose I'm an extrovert anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm getting at. I mean, the thing about so the main thing at Butterfield, the main way in which both me and you kind of like get involved is like saying the opening ceremony or the closing ceremony. Like the big ceremonies where there's lots of people. So. I remember like leading an opening ceremony with like maybe 500 people there, and you've done it as well, haven't you? You've emceed the opening ceremony and the closing ceremony and all that.
Yeah.
So it's so we're both really interested in giving people a positive, energetic experience, of connection with each other, that sort of thing. So that's what I mean by crowd shaming. It's like, we really care about people having an experience and wanting to
an experience. We just want to connect people and want them to draw them into the spirit of just to open up.
Make something happen.
Yeah, well, it's we don't do anything. We just do it. As soon as it's like once you call on the spirits of the land, once you call on the energies. The circle of protection and call on the Buddhas, and then the people are there, if you like. They want to be part of it. They become part of it.
Yeah.
So it happens, doesn't it? It's not. It's just that we're like a facilitator. We just help it to unfold and.
Yeah.
And the shamanic.
So a really significant figure in Butterfield history is Helen the Hat. So, do you want to talk a little bit about Helen the Hat and how she got involved, first of all, and how she's been involved through the years?
Yeah, well, Helen was one of these people who was a kind of a traveller, and she had a van, and she was there at the bean field when the police smashed all the vans up, But so she was well known in that world, and she's quite a hell of a character, isn't she? And so she came with her trucks, and she's got this thing called magic youth, and she's still in a bit of land, but I met her in the early days of the Butterfield Festival, which she came to, and she liked me. We liked each other, and but yeah, she's that interface with a certain interface with that traveling community and culture, and yes, she's also very good ritually. She's very good at connecting to the energies, and she's got her trumpet, and she's just she's a natural shaman, a natural ritualist, isn't she? To use that word.
Yeah.
Can you say more if you want? What I'm not sure if I'm answering your question.
Yeah. No, I'm just trying to get at something that I kind of feel is important about Buddhism, about Butterfield. Which is that it can. I mean, I go every year, and in a way, some people. The only place I ever meet them is at the festival, but I've met them over a long period of time, over 20 years, seeing the same, and I've built up a connection with those people. So it's
Yes.
like a community, isn't it, that comes together, and we just
Yeah.
there's something about that. It's not just something we're putting on for other people. It's more like
No.
something we're putting on for ourselves.
Yeah, well, the Butterfield Festival's grown, and there's a lot of younger people running it now, but it's been an ongoing development, and there's still some of the older crew are still, well, where I'm an elder, like you're an elder now, and we're elders, and we've still got our influence and friendships. Yeah, it's friendship, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what we're about. We're friends, and this is how we come together.
Yeah. And there's a certain idealism there, isn't there? Often among Butterfield people that they often kind of want environmentally conscious and want to save the world in some way or other and all that sort of thing. So in a way, it can be a bit of a channel for that, for those ideals and things.
Yeah, it's the alternative spirit, isn't it? And creative people, and within Tree Rat now, there's a lot of people within Tree Rat that come on it, and there's a lot of people from the alternative communities that are all drawn to it, and that's how it is. It's a mixture of Buddhists, pagans, and just good people who want to live, to be on the, who like things. So it's quite a mix.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that strikes me about it is, this is a bit of a Tree Ratner thing, is that I remember like somebody saying when it was about 2,500 people, about 500 of them were on the team, and we're on one team or another team. They were running yoga, or they're running cafes, or they're running something. So that idea of participation, there'd be the toilet wizards, the people looking after the toilet paper and making sure there's enough toilet paper in the compost toilets.
We just go into a field, don't we? And it's nothing. We have to put plumbing in. We have to put the water in. We have to put the tents up. We have to put the toilets in. And they're all wood, aren't they? They're not. We don't plonk things in. It's all. It's compost toilets. And, the big. I mean, you say 500. There's over, I think it's 1,500 now on the team.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not just the team setting it up. You've got the people who set it up. Then you've got the people who do all the events and all the workshops
and that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big team. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that one of the experiences people have of being in a team like that, or being involved, and you get meal tickets, don't you? And, you get vouchers for your meals and stuff. It's like it's not like you're just consuming something. You're just going and being a consumer, which is. I mean, I was at Glastonbury in 2010. I mean, you must have taught meditation at Glastonbury, but I've been once, and that it was just a kind of, it's just a hedonistic festival, isn't it? Of like, consuming something. But I think at Butterfield, the fact that people are contributing something, actually really makes them feel value. So there's something in that, isn't there? Of like, when we build something ourselves, that we own it better, in a better way, rather than when we just buy it,
Yes, and because people have been coming to the Butterfield Festival it's been going since '94, so what's that? No, it's '96. It's the first festival. So that's
24 years.
Yeah, and people have worked for Butterfield over the years, or they just come. They volunteer, don't they? It's all run. A lot of it's run by volunteers.
Yeah,
everybody just comes and volunteers and gives their energy, and that is the spirit of it, isn't it? To create. It's about creating a culture where we can live and leave the world for a while, if you like. out of our housings into
yeah, and
land.
and in a way, like try a different way of being, of living together, isn't it? A simpler way,
Yeah, yeah.
you know. And
Everybody likes to go camping a little bit, or they've done some camping, haven't they? Or
yeah,
it's
yeah,
about being. It gives you an opportunity to be in nature, doesn't it? Be more in
yeah,
nature.
yeah, yeah. And when you come out of nature, I've noticed that sometimes I get back on the M5 and it's like just the tarmac seems weird. You know, if you've been in the field for like 10 days or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's, yeah. You get used to it. Slower pace of life. You know,
yeah,
more connected to the earth. You're
yeah,
connected to just a slower rhythm.
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, so I think what I'll do is I'll post on the Facebook page some uh, examples of Butterfield. You know, so there's a recording of a puja that we did. Well, it's every year at the festival. Usually on the Thursday or Friday night. There's a big raucous puja. You know, often led by Dhiramati or Padmapana. You know,
I'm involved in it.
yeah, and Dharmabandhu's always there, and I'm always there. So yeah, I've got a recording of one on YouTube. You know, of us doing that. So I'll post that so people can have a look at that. And but thanks a lot, Dharmabandhu, for sharing your life with us. And I think it's worked quite well. This it's really nice.
I look forward to seeing it, mate. I look forward to seeing it.
Yeah. So tomorrow, are you okay with introducing us to Padmasambhava? So we'll have some, you know. So I've not explored Padmasambhava yet. So Padmasambhava is the yogi or the shaman in a way who took Buddhism to Tibet, and so we're going to hear from Dharmabandhu tomorrow.
He's the figure that he's historical. He was a kind of a magician monk scholar living in Nalanda in India, and he was invited by the king of Tibet to come to Tibet to help establish Buddhism in Tibet, because the Tibet was wild at that time, and they needed somebody to help the process of integrating Buddhism into Tibet. Yeah, so he was the figure: magician, shaman, scholar, practitioner.
Yeah.
So okay, I'll introduce him tomorrow.
Yeah. And we'll have a little bit of ritual as well, a bit of drumming and a bit of chanting and stuff.
Yeah.
Padmasambhava invocation and stuff like that.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay.
Well, you and I have just been on a week's Vajrasattva retreat, haven't we?
Oh, we have, yeah.
So we can. Padmasambhava will be happy to be here.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all from me, and that's all from him. In the chat show host thing.
So, everybody, good to be here. I don't know who's out there, but see
you tomorrow. Okay.
See you tomorrow, mate.
Bye.
Bye.